What's up, guys? Are you ready for another episode of Nate and Friends? Well, here we go. I'm Nate. This is Nate and Friends. And on this episode, I'm going to talk about what if our universe collided with another universe. I know I'm always doing interesting shit, and I'm always having interesting people, and I know you guys just love watching my shit and love listening to my shit. So I'm going to do another interesting one. We're going to hear the audio. So if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, you can hear the audio, but there's also going to be a video. But in order to watch that video, you got to head over to our YouTube channel, Nate and Friends. Okay. Just Nate and Friends. Look it up on YouTube. We got some good shit going on there. So when I first saw this video, and I thought about it, I was like, well, what if our universe did collide with another one? Because I'm fascinated with space. Not necessarily that I want to go to space, but I'm fascinated with it. So I'm fascinated with what's up there. I feel like there's just so much. There's so much up there, and there's so much that's unexplored, and we don't even know what's going on. And the thought that we're like the only universe, like it's only us, like we're the only people, there's no other people, like ever, is crazy to me. I don't believe that we're the only human beings. Like, I believe there's other human beings on other planets. I've said this before, but I believe there's 1,000 Earths, and there's 1,000 yous on those 1,000 Earths or 1,000,000 Earths or whatever. And when you go through deja vu, it's because there's another you that has already experienced that moment in time on a different Earth. That's my theory. Might be crazy, but that's my theory. So what I'm going to do for you guys is we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into this. We are going to get into this video, and I'm going to let you guys hear it. And then if you head over to YouTube, you guys can watch the video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and listen to the video.
This pretzel-shaped collection of galaxies is our universe. And it's about to collide with another universe. It might be fascinating to watch, but we should probably be worried about what's going to happen when they crash. How would it change the physics of our universe? Is there any chance that we would survive? What would the collision look like from Earth? And has it ever happened before? This is What If, and here's what would happen if our universe collided with another one. The only potential evidence of a universal collision that we've ever discovered is in the form of a cold spot in our universe. In 2013, the European Space Agency's Planck satellite confirmed that this area is 1.8 billion light-years across. It's much colder than the rest of space, and it seems to be missing 10,000 galaxies. At first, scientists were baffled by its existence, but now some have theorized that this spot might be a kind of scar or bruise left from colliding with another universe. But how can we know for sure? And if this is the case, how long before it happens again? Before we go any further, let me take a second to address something that might have some of you scratching your heads. Usually, when we refer to the universe, we're talking about all space and time, including planets, stars, galaxies, and all other forms of matter and energy. So, if the universe basically means everything in existence, then logically there can only be one of them, right? Not necessarily. Some scientists believe in the concept of the multiverse. This theory states that our universe wasn't the only one that popped into existence during the Big Bang, that there's an infinite number of other universes out there too, and we just haven't found a way to see or measure them yet. If this theory is right, then it's possible that all these other universes could have grown at the same rate, at the same time, after the Big Bang. If that's the case, then they might have banged into each other as they expanded. And that brings us back to the cold spot. The cold spot is a region of our universe that's 0.00015 degrees colder than everywhere else. That might not seem like a big deal, but when the rest of the universe's temperature is so consistent, scientists have started to think it's something more than an anomaly. They think that the cold spot might be a scar left over from a collision between universes. And the crash might have moved a bit of energy out of that spot in our universe, causing the colder temperature. But what would a collision of that magnitude look like? Well, we can't say for sure, but there are some pretty cool ideas out there. According to one physicist at the University of California, if another universe came crashing into ours, it would look like a giant mirror in the sky rushing towards us, because its wall would reflect light. If this other universe collided with our own, we could inherit a whole new set of governing laws of physics. Gravity could weaken or disappear, resulting in a slew of planets escaping the gravity of their stars, sending them flying off into space at ridiculous speeds. Without gravity, stars would cease to exist, and we'd be left in perpetual darkness. This would make life on Earth, and throughout most of the universe, nearly impossible. With no shining stars, we'd lose any means of nourishment or breathable air, as plants would no longer be capable of transforming starlight into energy through photosynthesis. But as bad as that all sounds, it's not something we really have to worry about, since the chances of our universe colliding with another one are slim to none. For one thing, we're not even sure that there are other universes out there to collide with. And even if there are, any collisions would have happened at that point when they were expanding, 380,000 years after the Big Bang, which would mean there's little to no chance of it happening again.
Okay, so there you have it. There you have it. There you have this interesting thing. If our universe collided with another one, now I know they say that we don't know if there is. I believe there's other universes. You know, I believe we have our universe, and I believe that there's other human beings and other life within our own universe. But I also believe there's other universes like our universe. So I think it's an interesting thing, and I think it's odd, you know, when you think about it. And you when you really think about space, it's really scary because there's so much that can happen. I mean, we're one planet just chilling in the middle of this, you know, galaxy, in the middle of this universe. And there's all these other planets, and there's all this debris up there. There's all this stuff going on up there. So it's like, we could eat. I mean, there's so many different things that could happen. I mean, at any time, there's so many different things that could happen. And I think that's what's so interesting to me. I think so interesting to me is that at any point in time, we could be in huge, huge trouble on this planet. We could be in so much trouble on this planet. And I think that's what gets me. I think that is what is so interesting to me, is that at any moment in time, we could be in serious trouble, and we don't even know it. We don't even know it. Because when it comes to like NASA and shit like that, they're not letting you know right away. They're not letting you know right away. They're going to let you know when there's only 20 hours left, and you either have to figure out what the hell you're going to do or whatever. You know, they're not going to let you know early enough because they need to try to figure out, well, how the hell do we fix it? And they're going to spend all this time trying to fix it, and they're not going to be able to fix it. They're not going to be able to fix it. So then you're only left with a little bit of time to try to figure out what the hell you're going to do, and you're not going to know. You're not going to know what to do. So, I mean, that's an interesting video. It's a very interesting video. For me, like I said, I always found space interesting. Not interesting enough to where I want to go to space. Not interesting enough to where I want to go to space, but interesting enough. Interesting enough that it's like, you know, I would like to maybe be some sort of I'm not a scientist, and I'm nowhere near smart enough to be one, but I would love to be that smart and be a scientist and not go to space, but work on things and try to explore more of space without actually going to it. That would be interesting. I have always found it's scary. it's extremely scary when you think about it. Like when you actually think about space and you think about this darkness, just black darkness, and all these other planets, and you know, our galaxy and other galaxies and other universes and all this other stuff, black holes, and it's like, whoa, this is intense. There's a lot going on up there. We worry about so much down here, but we should be worried about stuff in space. You know, if for some reason, you know, a meteor, you know, an asteroid hit, I mean, the damage that it would do. We're so worried about so much stuff here. We got to be worried about stuff up there. And this has been another episode of Nate and Friends. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you follow us on all of our social medias. Check us out on YouTube. And, well, I'll see you guys on the next one. Later. Bye. Yeah. Catch you on the next one. Bye.